Hello and welcome to the Rock Your Voice podcast. Vocal coaching tips that will transform your voice, interviews that will inspire, industry guidance, and so much more. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. Hello and welcome to day 6 of the 12 days of vocal magic. Today we're talking about vocal health during the holiday season. Of course, the holidays are notoriously the time for mixing and mingling and good cheer, and therefore we are exposed to a lot more germs. Add on to that, we're going in from like heated environments, like warm cars, tons of air blasting around into the cold streets, into the venues that are packed and all that kind of thing. So just consistent inconsistency with your environment, basically, if you are out and about during the holidays. So I have been sick myself already this month of December, and I recorded a few episodes on the weekly vocal workout and also the High Performance Coaching Club, all about maintaining your voice health and how you can kind of do vocal tests to make sure that you're ready to get back into action and stuff. I'll put the links if you're interested in learning more about those programs. But vocal health is at the core of everything that I do. It's my priority is to make sure that everybody's voice is healthy and well. But as we know, it's colds come and go, 'tis the season, all these things happen. So here are some practical tips to keep your voice healthy and strong during the busiest time of year. Of course, if you do get sick, the first thing I will tell you, and probably any other voice professional, is to rest if you can. If you have like a massive show coming up, then again, please check the podcast or reach out if you want some help with some vocal therapy and to make sure it is safe to proceed. But that is the key, is making sure it's safe to proceed, that you're not going to do further damage. But the first thing you should do if you do get sick and your voice is rough is rest. So understanding the challenges of the holiday season, of course, increased vocal use for performances. If you're a performer, a lot of the artists I'm working with are non-stop right now doing all their holiday parties and all of that stuff. And then, of course, they're amongst big groups and gatherings and a lot of public speaking going on too. So you might be at events where there's public speaking, Christmas parties for your work. And with that comes loud environments too, where you might be shouting over music or speaking loudly over music, or having to raise your voice and speak and communicate in an unnatural way. So that can be a challenge on the voice for sure. Also diet changes, lots of holiday treats and cheese and caffeine and chocolate and alcohol and all the fun things that we tend to love and enjoy can absolutely impact the voice and affect how everything is performing. So just make sure, if you are a singer that works regularly and relies on your voice, make sure that you have maybe even start a journal, but have a list of foods that you know mess you up. And a really good way to find this out is maybe do like a 1 month of a journal, even if you want to go that in depth, or just a week or something. But take note when you have a really great vocal day, write down what you did that day, how much sleep you got, how much stress you're under, and what you have been eating and drinking. Then when you have a really bad vocal day, do exactly the same and start to see if things start to stick out and be like, oh, that's the day that I was eating avocados, or that's the day that I drank 2 pots of coffee, or that's the day that I did something very strange. So yeah, you might start to see some correlation there as to how your voice is reacting to some of the things that you're doing. But of course, remembering that sleep and stress are huge impactors on the voice. See episode, I can't remember what day it was, but the mental wellness episode of this little series here goes into quite a lot of that too. So just understanding that. And then of course, with the holiday season, there is for many people a ton of stress, lack of sleep if you're out and about doing all the things, and family visits, and it's a hectic time. So if you are struggling and if it is hard work for you, then my thoughts are with you, and I wish you all the very best. And please do take time and start to maybe try to be okay with prioritizing yourself. Okay, everyone wants you to be happy. Well, I do, that's for sure. Okay, stay hydrated. And if you are in an environment like Calgary, where I am, where it's a very, very dry environment in the winter, humidifiers are great. So staying hydrated, humidified,
Hot steam showers are wonderful if you're really feeling it. So drink lots of water throughout the day, using a humidifier at home or backstage if you need to. Avoid overdoing the caffeine and alcohol. And a lot of people I'm seeing who are sick are hopping online for sessions with me or recovering from being sick or what have you. They're like, I'm doing really good. I'm drinking lots of tea. Tea is also a diuretic. So tea can actually dehydrate you depending on what types of tea you're drinking. So just make sure, I'm a big fan of just like hot water with a slice of fresh ginger, some honey, a little bit of lemon, but lemon's very acidic. So just be mindful of what you're putting into yourself. So check what kind of tea, caffeine free ideally, but I always say 1 for 1, so have a glass of water along with your cup of tea as well. Warm beverages are very nice and comforting and cozy, and honey and throat soothing teas can be really, really nice. If that's what you need, have it. Treat yourself, it's Christmas. Prioritizing rest and recovery. Yes, there's a lot of pressure to go to certain things, to go and see certain people, to go be doing all the time over the holidays, but you need to rest. And especially if you're sick, please take the time for rest. Schedule some quiet time if you're performing. Make sure you've got time before and after performances to just kind of chill out, do some breath work maybe, and just get the body into a nice, comfortable, relaxed state, and just practice those resting techniques. Humming as well is great. Gentle vocal exercises, you'll find a ton of those in the podcast too. And just trying as hard as you can to get adequate sleep to allow your body and your voice to recover. Do some healthy preparation as well. So if you have been sick or you're recovering from sickness, check out some of the rehab episodes on the podcast, or do some very gentle SOVTs, which are semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, which are like your lip rolls, your brrrr, or I love the thumb exercise where you kind of block the airflow slightly with your thumb and you allow your cheeks to puff up with a little bit of resistance, and just doing some slides behind that, which is very similar to the straw phonation, where you can put a straw in some water and hum while the bubbles are coming out of the water, or just a straw by itself as well. Keep your throat and your neck nice and warm and cozy in the winter. If you're somewhere like I am where it can get to like -30 or worse, scarves and everything, going to and from venues, in and out of warm cars into a venue, just so that you don't have that initial shock around the neck and the muscles and your body's just like, ooh, it's cold, and then you just clamp up and everything. And just, also avoiding yelling or talking too loudly at parties and in all those noisy environments. Support your immune system. So try to, again, like I was saying with tea, balance 1 for 1, have some water. But when you're going to have your treats, make sure you get your fruits and your vegetables and your immune boosting foods, and just washing your hands a ton, and avoiding just like, oh, here, try a sip of this, or try a bite of that. Try to not share too much. Sharing is caring, but maybe not with foods and drinks and stuff with your fam jam. I think we've all had that drummed into us so much over the last few years that it's like, oh my gosh, you're sharing a sip of my drink. But and if you're informed about it, take your supplements, your vitamins, all of those kind of things. There's a really good episode actually with Shelby Rollins way back in the podcast. She knows all about it. She's all into the supplements and all of that stuff. So there's some really interesting suggestions there. The obvious vitamin C, zinc. I'm a big fan of turmeric, but turmeric's a tricky one because you need either black pepper or heat or a source of natural fat to actually activate it. So if you're eating turmeric in teaspoons, it's not actually going to help with anti-inflammatory stuff. You actually have to put an active agent into it. Now, some things have those already in there. Some products that have the turmeric with whatever it is that will activate the turmeric. I'm obsessed with this Marks and Spencer's tea, and sadly I don't think I can get it sent to me, but maybe if I tag Marks and Spencer's and they love me. But it's I think it's called it's Defense, and it's got turmeric and black pepper and manuka honey and all kinds of incredible things in it, and I love it, but I can't find one similar here in Canada. So if you happen to be a tea manufacturer and you want to partner up and create a singer's tea, that's a really good one. let me know. Let's chat. I completely digress. I'm literally just staring into my cup of tea right now, looking at it like it's something I've loved the most ever in my life. Hey, vocal first aid for emergencies. If you have vocal strain or hoarseness, steam inhalation can really help. Vocal rest is key. Vocal rest all the way if you can. If you cannot, again, voice therapy, SOVTs, please seek out a professional. Say, for example, if you do have like a massive show and you cannot cancel, reach out to a professional to see whether it's safe to proceed, whether they can give you some tips to get back on stage and do things safely. Think about modifications of the melodies, key changes, if someone else can kind of really back you up on stage with backing vocals, all that kind of stuff. Start to really prepare for that. And it doesn't hurt to have a backup plan way ahead of time. So when you're healthy, think about these things, because when you're sick and your brain isn't working and it's foggy and you're stressed because you have this big show tonight, be like, okay, we activate plan B. We are ready to go with plan B. I've had a lot of artists will reach out to me during festival season in the summer where they're like, I've been going non-stop for weeks and my voice has just decided to not function anymore. Can you please help me? And we will work through vocal therapy. We'll do tests and assess that whether it's safe to proceed or whether it's an absolute hard stop. And we'll work on the exercises to see what the voice is doing, see how we can get it back on track. And we've, saved several shows along the way. But please reach out if you're in that position and we can definitely assess and listen. And I will be 100% honest. I will tell you if I think you should not, or if I think, try this, try that, let's do this, and then let's see. But honestly, if you are in doubt, your instrument, trust your body, and listen to what your instinct is telling you, okay? Lots of hydration, lots of vocal rest if you do get sick, and please consult a voice coach, an ENT, or an otolaryngologist. I always say that wrong. But yeah, go see your specialist and make sure everything is good. I'd love to know if you have any voice tips that you love, things that have helped you. Please share, because again, sometimes sharing is caring. And let me know what you think. And I hope you have a happy, healthy holiday season. But I will be back tomorrow with more for you. Have a great day, and I'll be back very soon. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me for the 12 days of vocal magic. Now, the new year is just around the corner, and with that, I have new vocal programs just for you. I'm super excited. The VIP program is kicking off again in January. I only open the doors to this twice a year, and VIP is all about voice, industry, and performance. Now, we've got the Emerging Artist program kicking off. It's 8 weeks of live training with me, and we cover things like songwriting, marketing, branding yourself as an artist, copyrights and royalties, registering, streaming, releasing new music, pitching for gigs, media prep, all of the things that you need to know as an independent emerging artist. So if you are just taking the journey from hobby singer into emerging artist, this is the course for you. I will put the links in the show notes. Now, also, if you're just starting out, I have the beginner singer VIP course as well. That one is going to take you from the shower to the stage in no time. So whether you just want to learn how your voice works, how to get the best from your voice and have confidence in it, or if you do want to start doing things like open mics, getting on stage, singing karaoke with even more confidence, this is for you. As always, the weekly vocal workout, you can jump in and join at any time. And I do have the High Performance Coaching Club, which also includes live training with me as well. You'll also get access to the entire weekly vocal workout back catalogue too. So check it all out. The links are below. Enjoy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.